Good morning from the heart of New York City. This is Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Podcast dedicated to wanting to learn and apply to eat better daily. I'm your host, Angela Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist, your personal health and wellness coach, your personal fat loss guru, and just someone with a lot of passion for healthy eating, healthy food, food science, nutrition science, biochemistry and metabolism, everything and anything we put in our mouth and on our plate in order to hopefully feel better, look better, and perform better on all levels, mentally and physically. You might want to check out a couple of last episodes that I thought were really fun to do and are really popular among people. Those episodes were about how to lose fat, lose weight without counting a single calorie, and how to put on the right kind of weight, meaning gain muscles, burning fat. So what strategies I personally use myself and with my clients to get as shredded as needed without again counting a single calorie, because counting calorie is very imprecise method and also very time consuming and really not that effective, because different foods produce completely different effect in your body. So check out last two episodes for burning fat and gaining muscle without counting calories. Today's episode, guys, we continue talking about some fat loss, weight loss questions and controversies in the diet world, questions that I get from Quora, from Instagram, and just every day from a lot of people. A lot of people, for example, are worried or concerned about their belly fat. It's like belly fat epidemic, and so many people ask me questions about that. And you know what I find funny is when you read advice in different diet related resources, even in a lot of you can find in a lot of nutrition courses and dietitian courses, diet courses. A lot of times you can find that, as long as you're eating less than you expending, basically as long as your calories out are less than calories in, then you're going to be burning fat just fine, losing all the weight that you need to lose just fine, and basically going to be healthy and happy. But then a lot of times when I start asking or digging deeper into the science of belly fat loss, and especially if you want to have six-pack and really nicely shaped waist and belly area, then nutritionists and dietitians start talking about how you should reduce your carbohydrates, how you should eat more vegetables, more proteins, and healthy fats. And for me, it's really double standard. Like, so if you want to lose all the fat you want and you don't need to count any carbohydrates, really, and you don't need to be on a lower carbohydrate diet, then it should work as just as fine for losing belly fat, shouldn't it? If metabolism, or doesn't matter if certain foods don't produce different effects on your body and the way your body gains or holds on to fat, it shouldn't be different, if you're trying to just lose fat or lose belly fat. But it's funny how a lot of dietitians would recommend you to count calories, and then when it comes to belly fat loss or six-pack, they start recommending lowering your carbohydrates. And today, for example, I was talking on my Instagram, well, not talking, but kind of commenting on different posts about nutrition, weight loss, fat loss, calories in, calories out, and how one of the posts was saying that as long as you eating good quality food, doesn't matter the amount of carbohydrates, as long as you're counting your calories, then you're gonna burn all the fat you need. And that all studies show just that. And then I was reading Precision Nutrition article where I kind of rate my education, and they were also saying then, as long as you watching your portions, the amount of food you eat. You don't really need to watch your carbohydrates to lose fat. But then I found a specific question about six-pack, and on Precision Nutrition website they say, if you want to have six-pack, basically burn the most amount of belly fat, then you need to eat protein and vegetables at every meal, indulge in healthy fats at most meals, eat a small amount of carbs post-workout only, and limit carbs at all other meals. So basically they tell you to go as low carb as possible when you're trying to lose the most belly fat. So I just want you to think about low carbohydrate diets, and that our body not just some calorie burning machine, and actually amount of carbohydrates that raise your blood sugar, that raise your insulin levels, that produce certain metabolic effects in your body. Amount of carbohydrates matter, and if you really want to lose your belly fat, you gotta count your carbs. Like, there is no way around it. That's just how biochemistry works, and people who say otherwise, they just don't know a lot about nutrition, like, really. So if you have belly fat problem, guys, I really recommend you to start counting carbs. Besides, of course, improving the quality of all the foods that you eat, eating whole foods, eating carbohydrates that have the least effect on your blood sugar, and that's going to allow you to burn the most amount of belly fat without counting necessarily any kind of portions or calories. Of course, details apply, but if belly fat is your goal, losing belly fat, then start counting your carbs. But when it comes to any fat loss, actually, the most effective way is to start counting your carbs, improving the quality of your nutrition overall. So this is about belly fat, about fat loss, about nutrition and six-pack. Another funny question I often kind of get, it's something like it goes something like that. Like, this particular question was, can eating avocado help you lose weight? And the answer is no. Eating certain food, changing nothing else, will not help you to lose fat. There are no fat burning foods. There are no some magical fat burning solutions that you eat and you start automatically burning fat without doing anything else. If there was one, that company would be $1 billion company, because everyone would be using that. So no, if you just eat some food, changing nothing else, don't expect to lose fat. That's just not going to happen. So trying to find some fat burning supplement or fat burning food, it's just not going to happen. You need to change your lifestyle. You need to change your eating habits most and for all. And you need to, change your lifestyle, your nutrition habits, and then add some activity, change your, movement patterns. And that's how you're going to burn fat and lose fat. And there is no magic food or burning fat supplement even. So that's about it. And also, I get a lot of questions these days about intermittent fasting. And a lot of people, I believe, are confused about intermittent fasting. Some people think that it's a particular thing that you do, a particular protocol with strict rules. But intermittent fasting is basically, what it basically means is you have a long period of not eating and periods of time when you eat. So, for example, you might do 5-2 protocols that is very popular. That means eating 5 days normally, and then 2 days you consume somewhere around 700 calories. You can do alternate day intermittent fasting, when you eat one day and don't eat the other day, and repeat it as often as you want, or as rare as you want. It's still intermittent fasting, better than nothing. Then there is time periods for intermittent fasting. So a lot of people like myself do daily intermittent fasting. So you fast, for example, the most kind of popular way to do it these days is 16-8, basically not eating for 16 hours a day and eating for 8 hours. I do 18-6, so basically not eating for 18 hours and eating for 6 hours. But you can do even 12-12. 12 hours is the very minimum that produces long-term health and weight loss, fat loss benefits according to the research. And the more you fast, so for example, instead of 12 hours, you do 14 or 16 hours, the more exponentially growing benefits you get. But there is a but. You need to be consuming good quality diet and enough nutrition in the hours that you eat. So your meals need to be well planned. It's not like you fast for, let's say, 20 hours and then have one meal covering no nutritional basics that you need to cover as a human being, and then you expect to be healthy. No, that doesn't work like that. You need to eat all your nutrition in those hours, and that's actually a challenge, to create well-planned, well-balanced meals in the hours that you actually eat on intermittent fasting. Fasting, not eating, is as important as eating the right kinds of food and covering your nutritional requirements when you eat for long-term health and weight loss and avoiding cravings and all kinds of performance crashes. So when it comes to intermittent fasting, again, fasting is amazing, but also you need to plan well your meals so you get all you need from those meals, especially if you're eating, like me, 1 or 2 meals a day. You really need to maximize nutrition per calorie and per bite of food, because there is only so much food you can eat in those meals, right? So here you go, guys. That's what I wanted to talk to you about this Monday. It's Labor Day in US. You're probably having an easier start. But guys, it's September, kind of like a new working year, and maybe time to start working on your nutritional habits. And the best way to start is to take one habit at a time and work on it for a week or two till you master it, and then build on top of that. And each habit will produce more and more positive results for your health, for your fat loss, weight loss, for your performance and your fitness levels. So the most important thing is consistency, even if the change doesn't seem like a lot at the moment you do it. So choose one habit. If it's intermittent fasting, then do intermittent fasting. Don't try to be intermittent fasting, doing keto, doing 22 hours of fasting and being 80% fat and completely sugar-free and God knows what else. Like, sometimes I'm surprised what people want to do. Like, people want to go from eating junk food to, again, being on intermittent fasting, eating only 1 meal a day, and being 5% carbs and all stuff, all this crazy stuff, and then people end up just crushing and feeling like shit because it was just too much for the body to handle at the same time. So take one habit, master it, don't go crazy, track your results, and then build one habit on top of the other, one habit at a time. That's the most effective way to build healthy habits for life and stick with them. So, guys, thank you for listening. I really appreciate you. Start working on your health and your fitness, because that's going to improve your energy levels and performance on all levels. So if you have any questions about what we just talked about, six-pack nutrition, about belly fat loss, about foods for fat burning, and we know there is none, about intermittent fasting, always feel free to shoot me email with your questions to Angela@createyourself.today. Angela@createyourself.today. Thank you again for listening, guys. Share this episode, rate on iTunes so more people get healthier and fitter. And till next time, of course, eat better daily.